Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.
In their first major speech since 2018, please welcome to the stage Gonzalez, along with fellow gun violence survivors. Hi, everybody. My name is Gonzalez. I used to be known as Emma, but now I go by X, and I use they, them pronouns. Happy Pride. We are the survivors of gun violence. From Columbine, Sandy Hook, Buffalo, Uvalde, Oxford, Michigan, Parkland, Florida, DC, Chicago, and everywhere across this country. What I say here today is mostly directed at Congress. I've spent these past 4 years doing my best to keep my rage in check, to keep my profanity at a minimum so that everyone can understand and appreciate the arguments that I'm trying to make, but I have reached my fucking limit! I am not going to hold myself back anymore for the sake of somebody else's fragile ego. If you can't hear what I'm saying through the anger that I only have because of your inaction, that's a you problem. We are being murdered. Cursing will not rob us of our innocence. You say that you will bend over backwards to protect children in schools, but pour money into the gun industry and give firearms to our teachers and staff members instead of giving them the money for pencils and paper. You say that you want to protect children, but as soon as it's about Black lives, you're all for tear gassing protesting children in the streets and ignoring the people who drive their cars into crowds of us. You say that queer and trans identities are immoral for children, but somehow conversations about what to do when a white supremacist terrorist inevitably tries to kill us are moral. You say that children are the future and you never fucking listen to what we say once we're old enough to disagree with you, you decaying degenerates. You really want to protect children? Have some fucking gun laws! This is not an issue of mass shootings and schools. This is a problem everywhere in this country. Believing that school shootings are the only form of gun violence that needs to be eradicated is rooted in racism and classism. Putting police in schools will only protect children. Putting police in schools to protect children only swells the school to prison pipeline, which mainly affects Black and brown children. It fully ignores the dangers of gun violence outside of school. How many ways can we say it? defeated and abetted an ever-growing American nightmare that plagues everyone currently alive. Our government can't keep its hands off women's bodies. The poor and homeless are systematically rejected from society as the rich get unbelievably richer. Refugees are subject to racist attacks, and white supremacist terrorist insurrection almost killed a lot of you in office currently. Did you fucking forget that? If any of this had happened in another country, you would have used it as an excuse to colonize and drop bombs. But when it happens here, you replicate it and maintain. You think we don't see that? You want to be helpful? You want to make this world a better place, Congress? There's one thing that you in office can take away from this speech is pass the fucking gun laws! How can we convince you that this is vital for our collective survival? Do you honestly think things are okay like this? Do you honestly think this is a good place to live? You might be wondering, X, I haven't heard from you much these past 4 years. What have you been doing? Why aren't you on Twitter? I've seen your colleagues around. The answer is very simple. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say it. Everything that I have said now is stuff that I've said before. I didn't want to add anything same old to the conversation when nothing has changed. I'm not going to clutter the timeline with my unhinged ravings. My PTSD has me feeling suicidal thoughts that I've managed to very positively turn towards anger instead, and that's what I'm doing here today. I don't share all these raging thoughts on Twitter, unlike some idiotic and messy elected officials, because I know that it's bad and wrong to incite violence and accept no consequences for my actions. I'm responsible for the impact that I have on people. It's your job to be constructive and give us the tools to build a better life. Tell us you can do it, not they are out to get you. Stop sowing division and help us, you fucking jackasses.
Good girl.
Thanks to us, we've already got the biggest obstacle to passing gun laws out of the way, the NRA. They're not what they once were. Thanks to us, the NRA, which was an organization that was very publicly holding you hostage with terrorist threats and embarrassing propaganda, no longer has the hold on you that it used to, Congress. You could have made some real change in the past 4 years and shown them who's boss. Take the checks that they wrote you and not cash them. But that's just me. I see people suffering and try to help. I see problems with relatively simple solutions. I try to fix them. Again, that's just me. It's kind of embarrassing, though, to be this adamant that there is no problem and there is no reason to pass gun laws. We saw you cash those checks. We know that you know gun violence is an issue. We brought the topic to you with international attention and resources 4 years ago. We as children did the heavy lifting for you. At your age, not your shoe size, Congress. All you had to do was pass the fucking gun laws, and you didn't even do that. I don't know how to convince you that you should care about people. You were not elected to make decisions for us. You were elected to pass our will into law. You cannot ignore the fact that almost 100% of citizens in this country want background checks. Why won't you pass it? Is it the money you're making from all the gun manufacturers, which increases every time another white supremacist terrorist attack occurs? Is it all the money you're making from the prison industrial complexes? From policing? How much money do you make every time someone dies? Why do you only realize the impact of this problem when it hits you personally? You ought to be ashamed. Now you may feel offended, Congress, at the tone of voice that I've used towards you. You may say that I've shown my true colors and should no longer be listened to as a force for peace. But I am not speaking for people. Thank you, everybody.
Hi, everyone. Well, that's a voice I would listen to. Let me see if I can get back on camera. Oh, let's see. Hi. Well, there's a voice I would listen to, but I'm a little different. She could be my daughter. That's what I would have raised. And I would have been standing right there supporting her and her words and her fucking language through and through. But that's just me. That's what I would have raised. I would have raised a powerhouse. Let's get my face here real quick. Ooh, child. What is this? Notice she didn't come out screaming and yelling from 4 years ago. She waited. And she watched the world fall apart the whole time. Notice that she went to school hoping that there would be change. I wonder what she got her degree in. I noticed that there was no change the whole time she was in school. In fact, in the last 2 weeks, it only got worse. She could be my daughter any day. So, when you all call me mommy and auntie, are we willing to stand up and start to recognize that we have a voice? And even if you think you don't have a verbal voice to speak, you have a Twitter voice, you have an Instagram voice, you have an email voice. I mean, isn't it time for all of us to be like X? Or is her being gay is a problem, so you can't really be like X because she's gay? Just asking for a friend, because I don't always, I don't have all the answers. I'm going to use this deck because I like this deck. So, X, you're up for review. What are you going to be doing with the rest of your life? And how amazing are my expectations of you? And how can we support her? What is it that we can help her with her voice? Because she speaks for change. And some of us, we don't know how to speak up for change. So let's support the people that are willing to do it. Does that make sense? Just saying. I hope your gay fear doesn't stop you. I hope you're better than that. My metaphysical people, it's the only one I'm talking to. I'm not talking to the whole world. Everybody don't like me. I'm talking to my metaphysical people. So don't pretend to be metaphysical, because little children are dying. Innocent people are dying in supermarkets. Church people can't even go to church while somebody 300 miles away comes along and sits in their Bible study. But she has a voice that's probably better than any voice we have heard in some time. So don't sit there quiet, people. Don't act like you like me. Because if you pretend like you like me, then you have to understand why I would support someone like X Gonzalez. Because if you don't support someone like X Gonzalez, you could turn me off. please. All right, X, you're up for review. Well, your speech caused a little bit of a ruckus, young lady. Ooh. She put people on notice. She fired up the engine. You can't go back with the way she expressed her disdain. Of course, she expressed it her way, which is why it's on fire. But she made an impact, especially from the people above. I don't know. I feel like she got authorized to do it her way, say it her way, and to call out Congress her way. I think her speech was reviewed. I don't think she just got up there and spoke so eloquently. I think it was reviewed and authorized. I mean, she did go last. Make no mistake about it. The people that put this organization together knew exactly what they were doing. She waited a long time to speak, as she said, the card of temperance. They actually been asking her to speak for years. It's gotten more impactful in the last 14 months. So I don't know what happened a year and 4 months ago, a year and a half ago, but they've been begging her to speak since then. Now, I don't know when she graduated. So I don't know if she just graduated in May or what. Something about her wanted to enjoy her life. And that's what she was determined to do, in spite of knowing that one day she was going to have to use her voice. Now, this reminds me of Jesus, right? When Jesus was in the wedding. And his mom was the only one that knew how magical Jesus was, right? They didn't need wine the whole time Jesus was in the house. And so when the wedding started to run out of wine, the mother says, Jesus, baby, do what you do at home. And Jesus was like, Mother, that is between you and me, and you are calling me out right now. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry, son. I'm sorry. I just know we've never needed wine. So Jesus had to look at what his mother was saying to him. But his mother represented spirit. His mother represented God. And Jesus had to look at the circumstances, and Jesus had to say, I guess it's time. I guess it's time to show the world who I am. And with the swoop of one hand and the swoop of another hand, he turned water into wine. This is a young lady that turned water into wine. She said what she said. Oh, child, things are going to be happening to her very, very fast. Oh, sweetie, there's a lot of things coming to you. Choose wisely. I think you already know that every path may not be your right path. Choose the path that feels right to your soul. And remember that. Remember that there are going to be people around you that want to make you into a thing. Don't let them. Feel the energy. And do what feels right for you. Don't be conflicted. Because remember, whoever the higher ups are over you also care just about themselves. So unless you have higher ups that care about the greater purpose, don't do it their way. Feel the energy. Look at their faces, look at their mannerism, and you decide from there. We should see her all over now, like on Good Morning America, Jimmy Kimmel, whatever, because it's getting to the point where I love that Jimmy Kimmel has a great job, and I love that, who's the other one? Jimmy Kimmel and Jimmy Fallon. Is there a late night CBS host? Cordon Bleu, he left. Whatever his name is, Cordon. I don't know. It doesn't really matter. I love that they get to have jobs to this day. Ha ha, funny. And I've seen Jimmy cry on numerous occasions because he was sensitive to a topic. But it is time for the Jimmy Fallons and the Jimmy Kimmels and the Nene Leakes and the Phaedra Parks and anybody that has a platform to use your platform so that we can now get things done and listened to. I think if reality people don't speak up, we don't have a fucking flying chance. So if you want me to support you, Candy, and your candy lights, coated, whatever it is that you sell, you have to have a voice that's for gun violence. And it can't just be the Matthew McConaughey's of the world. It has to be everyone in the industry. Because all of you have people that follow you. Pick up an X. Stand with an X. Put an X over your face like this for no more gun violence, to support Gonzalez, to support David Hogg. Those are the kids that were in the same gun violence. So they're coming from a place that you and I don't get, church people. You don't get it. You don't understand it unless you were in that church and watch members die. But it's funny, I don't hear those church members either. I need global speech. And I'm even noticing on my feed, everybody's so quiet. Stop being quiet. Start using your voices. Stop being scared. It's not my children. It's your children. And every time something happens, it's not my children. It's your children. And your children are my children. And I want you to think that way. Everybody in Uvalde, that was my child. I don't know. Am I the only one? Just noticing how quiet the feed is. Lord, she's been quiet long enough. She's grown in all of these years. She has a soul that is immeasurable. She will be wonderful. She's got a lot of hard work ahead of her. She's also willing to do the hard work. We need to be willing to help her do the hard work for us. What are we leaving behind for our children? Scared voices? I'm glad she yelled. I'm glad she cursed, right? When we were in slavery, we never had a voice. Funny thing is, we're out of slavery. We don't use our voice. I feel like she's ready to fight. What does this card mean? The Seven of Swords in my mind. Gotta look that up. Yeah. She definitely is going to have a power position. And whether you guys like it or not, she's going to have a power position as being a gay person. Whether you like it or not, it's not my problem. I don't care. I'd rather have a gay person fight for children that are being shot than no one, than a straight old white man that wants to give guns to our teachers. Fuck your prejudices. Oh, she's going to get married. Oh, good girl. She has the big bad devil to face, though. I feel like this is her and David. Poor kids. I feel like we're abandoning them. I don't know. They have to be the leaders. They have to be the leaders of change. Most leaders step out there alone. Most leaders step out there very alone. But maybe one day it'll be you that needs help in a supermarket, crowding under a tomato. And will that be the only time that you understand? One day you'll have a child that's gay. And then maybe you'll understand the gay world. I don't know. What will it take? I don't know. So, the Seven of Swords in my mind, is doing the unexpected, like coming out the way she did yesterday to speak. She will be doing a lot of traveling. This is now her career. Oh, dear. She is worried that the cursing can be seen as derogatory on herself. And I have something to say to you, X. Fuck all them motherfuckers. Fuck them all. Curse, scream, yell, call Congress bastards, because you're not lying. Because if you don't speak out and cuss them out, everybody else is scared. So thank you for speaking out your way. Because she wouldn't be here at all if her school had not been shot up in the first place and everybody ignored it. Thank you, realness. I appreciate you too. Oh, let's see if I get y'all to look at these cards. She is worried that her speech was dishonorable. I mean, so it won't be the end of the world. Antichrist, okay? It won't be the end of the world. She's proud of what she did yesterday. This was yesterday's speech. And she's also concerned, like, is the message getting across for real, for real? You know what I have to say to that, X? You got the message across regardless. It no longer matters if it was effective. The message got across anyways. And those little cowards with their little wee-wees in Congress that wants to arm our teachers, they heard your message. Trust and believe. I'm proud of you, X. I'm proud of you. I'm proud of you because you were capable in a way that I can't even be capable. In a way where I'm like, what can I do to help? All I can do is use my platform. But we all have a platform. Yeah, good things are coming to you. It's also, it's fast, it's consistent, and it's steady. You've enacted change, whether you realize it or not. A lot of money around you, young lady. You know what? I think you have to get over the first hump. And this is gun violence. And this is what you've been holding on to since you were a child. The tower is you. So once you put a child in the middle of gun violence, and notice Uvalde police is not releasing the 911 calls of some of those kids that were alive, begging for help. Why isn't the media demanding it? It's our right. 911 phone calls are public. It's our right. This is her. Ciao. All right. There's going to be several people standing with you to fight gun violence. You won't be alone. It'll be messy, but it'll be okay. You know what I just noticed in this deck? 2 people are wearing masks. This was before 2020. I got to see when this deck came out. It's so weird. 2 people are wearing masks. It's so weird. What did they know that we didn't know? This is going to be a youth fight because adults don't know how to use their voice effective enough. But remember what I said, we need to be allies to the youth. Let's be allies to them. We created this world for them. Not me. Not me. My grandparents' age brackets, not my grandparents because they're black. So don't get it twisted. My mother's age bracket, not my parents. Don't get it twisted because they're black. I'm talking about white America created this environment. And the roosters come home, and that's why your kids are going crazy. If you present crazy in your house, it simmers inside the children. And they don't have any other place to put it. So they explode it. You present racism and hatred and ugly Karen and Kevin, your children are putting it out in the world. You're showing the people what you raised. I know it hurts. I'm sorry. I'm sorry that you raised ugly children. That's what I'm sorry for. That you didn't have the wherewithal to know that women in my age bracket, not me because I'm black, but the Karens and the Kevins in my age bracket are fucking ugly. And they're sneaky. And they're insidious. And they play the nice game when you show up in their face. But behind their closed door, their children hear everything that you say. Watch your mouth. We're not giving teachers guns. If teachers start to get guns, take your kids out of school, people. Take your kids out. Do you know how crazy teachers are? Do you know that your kids are going to school with psycho teachers? Put a gun in a teacher's hand. The teacher will use it. All right. I'm over it. I'm not asking for solutions on this feed. Please don't give me solutions. I'm saying we need to fight with the kids who has a sense of what they need to be fighting for to live in this world. I mean, the guy that went after Brett Kavanaugh, he just wanted to show the justice his gun. He just wanted to show him his nice, juicy gun. There's no indication that he was going to use it on Brett. Look how scared he got so quickly. Imagine those kids that got as scared as Brett did. All right, X. I know that was really short. I'll be keeping an eye on you. Maybe it just needed to be short. I don't care. I listen to Spirit. Sorry if I'm not funny for everybody today. Oh, Tracy's so funny. Tracy's angry. Tracy's angry. When are you gonna get angry too? All right. Mystic. Aww. I believe this young lady revels in intimate union with the divine. I believe that. You know why I believe that? Because I studied her IG, not her Twitter. I studied her IG. And she had fun for 4 years. She bid her time, went to school, and had fun for 4 years. Only the divine would tell her to do that. Do you understand what I mean by that? Like, sometimes we wind up on unemployment, right? Instead of enjoying unemployment, everybody worries, right? But you usually get unemployment for 6 months. You used to get it for a year job. So instead of taking the time out and relaxing for 3 months and then start looking in the 3rd month, everyone worries the whole 6 months. Will I get a job? Will I get a job? Will I get a job? Instead of understanding that maybe, just maybe, God made you unemployed because you're driving yourself crazy. You probably asked for it over and over. I hate my job, God. Here I go again, going to work. I hate my job. So God goes, no more job. And instead of taking it to a place of relaxation, ooh, child, I got fired. It's the best thing that ever happened to me. Who knew? I've been luxuriating for 3 months. I ain't had to get up 6 o'clock, 5:30 in the morning to drive my car with $10 a gallon gas. You'll worry and cry the whole 6 months. What she did was have fun the whole time she was going to school. All she needed to do was go to school. All she needed to worry about was learning and passing her tests. And the minute she graduated, she came out kicking and screaming. I like that. That is listening to the divine. And you heard her. They tried to get her in the game, and she said, no, I'm going to school. I'm going to just go to school, people. I love that. Mystic, renunciate. Follow selfless path of practice to achieve union with the divine or a state of enlightenment that manifests as a service to others. Wow. Consistently places inner knowledge above material concerns. She's a gift. She's a gift. Ask yourself if you have a long life devotion to exploring your relationship with the divine God. And are you ready to pay the price in blood, sweat, and tears? She's a gift. I appreciate you, X. I honor your presence. Thank you. All right, guys. Thank you. I love you. I need you. X Gonzalez needs you. Follow her on Twitter. On IG, I think she's called Emma something. Oh, good. Thank you. Yay. I think she's called Emma something. 12:30. Okay. I'm open today for personal readings. So contact me if you can. If you want to, I'm open. I love you. Let me just put the banner on for psychic readings today, 213-458-7408. All right, guys. I love you. Take it easy. Bye.
Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Gals and guys, go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live. Go to Tracey Brown Live.